The Adeptus Custodes are the greatest warriors at humanity's disposal. Clad in Oromite armour, they stand tall and defiant. Their duty is bound to the Emperor of mankind. They watch over and protect him from those who wish to see his empire come to ruin. To behold an Adeptus Custodes is something that words would trouble to explain. They are to the Space Marines what the Space Marines are to the Imperial Guard, something much more evolved. To look upon them can bring the most noble Imperium citizen to their knees. Their golden aura, raw strength and will are wholly insurmountable. Unlike the Space Marines, who deploy their force in squad level tactics, the Custodes are each an individual. Each Adeptus Custodes is crafted to be independent, having their own skill sets, wielding a number of weapons best suited for each own's personality. An Adeptus Custodian can face any enemy that the darkness has to let loose, but what is truly terrifying is when they deploy en masse as shield companies. Only ash and ruin remains for those who come across a shield company. To behold an Adeptus Custodes is like looking upon ancient legends come to life. They move with swiftness, each blow planned to counter and move on to the next foe. With blade and bolt they vanquish, purge and exterminate the enemies of the Emperor. Many confuse the Adeptus Custodes' true purpose. They are not crafted for conquest, but of guardianship, for they are the Emperor of mankind's personal bodyguard. Only he has the authority to command them. Their story begins long ago, before the arise of the Adeptus Astartes and the Primarchs, before the Imperium took to the stars. During the period known as Old Night, at Nadir, the Emperor of mankind arose on terror. The world of mankind's empire at that time was nothing short of a nightmare. Warlords conquered. Armies of abhuman warriors brought slaughter and death. What records survived that hellish time have been locked away, deep inside the most ancient vaults of the Imperial Palace. It was rumoured that when the Emperor conquered a warlord, he took their children as a prize to be crafted into his bodyguard. For those that survived the gene progress were gifted to become a Custode. Through all the wars and conquests during the days of Old Night and the Unification Wars, through the rebellion of the Emperor's own Thunder Warriors, the Custodes stood tall and proud at the Emperor's side. To witness the master of mankind stride to war at the head of a golden legion was to have witnessed the most magnificent spectacle in human history. For countless years, the Custodes were decked in glory. They were led by Constantine Valdor, whose status is still legendary to this day. It is argued that he was the greatest Custode that ever lived. It was spoken that he could even duel and hold his own with the Emperor's newest and most powerful creations, the Primarchs. When the Emperor set his sight upon the stars, he unleashed the legions of Adeptus Astartes and their Primarchs. Throughout the centuries, entire empires fell to the might of the Emperor and the Primarchs. A new imperial empire was carved throughout the galaxy. When Horus, the Emperor's most favoured son and War Master, turned his back on the Emperor and set to destroy all that had been built throughout the centuries, the Custodes remained utterly resolute and unquestionably loyal. The betrayal of the Adeptus Astartes and the Primarchs that rallied to Horus would forever remain in the minds of the Custodes as a warning to how easily they could be turned. When the armies of Horus reached Terra and the Emperor of mankind faced his traitorous son, the Custodes, for the first time, failed in their sworn duty. Even though Horus was utterly defeated, the Emperor was mortally wounded and placed upon the Golden Throne to protect and watch over humanity. The Custodes carried their failure to protect their lord with shame and dishonour throughout the millennia. After the Horus heresy, after the smoke and ash had settled upon the ruined empire of mankind, the Adeptus Custodes would no longer fight at their master's side. Instead, they locked themselves away from the presence of politics of the Imperium, protecting what was left of the Emperor. replacing their red cloaks with black, a symbol of mourning for their failure. Throughout the millennia, they stood vigil at the Emperor's side. Unlike other gene-crafted beings, the Adeptus Custodes do not age like other men. They are practically immortal. As the Great Rift shattered the universe and split it in two, the awakening of the loyal son of the Emperor Rabuti Gilliman and his reinstating as Lord Commander of the Imperium moved the Adeptus Custodes to march to war once more. While a standing force still remains upon Terra, guarding the Emperor, dozens of shield companies have embarked upon a crusade into the stars. With them, they bring the Emperor's vengeance and fury, sharpened by 10,000 years of preparation.